Yeah. What is up? Welcome. God, it feels good to feel that. I already fucked it up. What does that mean? It feels good to feel. The fuck does that even mean? That's not even what I wanted to say. Show's ruined. Ruined the show. God damn it. Fuck it. I've gone too far. I can't start it over now. All this good content, all this good material, I'm just supposed to start it over? Fuck that. Keep going, Will. Yeah. Dun, 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 bing, bing. Yeah. What I was gonna say before I fucked it all up already was that it feels good to hear that music again. Not it feels good to feel. What the fuck is that? Like I wasn't feeling shit before? Like I'm a sociopath that can't empathize with anything? I can't feel things? I don't have feelings? I have feelings, bro. You know how I know I have feelings? Because I've been going through it, god damn it. So, you know what? It doesn't feel good to feel. Fuck feeling. I don't want to feel shit. Feeling is overrated. It felt good to hear that song, that intro music, that fucking ding, 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 ding. Because you know what? I tried. I wanted to be that guy that could say I podcast week in, week out without missing a week. But you know what? You know what? Shit happens, man. Shit happens. Things happen. Stuff gets in the way. And speaking of feeling things, I felt all the germs, all the bacteria, all the sickness. I felt all of it. And yeah, if you guys didn't notice, you guys got an extra week without me, unfortunately. You know how I say I'm the perfect amount? No breaks, Will Bryant. Well, unfortunately, a break was thrusted upon you listeners, and you guys did not get, your ears were not graced by these vocal cords last week. I wanted to be that guy. I wanted to be that type of podcast host that did not miss a week and that was here week in and week out. And it was a goal I put on myself when I started this podcast way back in May. It was a self-imposed mandate, if you will, that I had to kind of discipline myself so that I wouldn't get lazy with this show, so that I wouldn't have some type of moment where I'm like, not today. But this was not laziness, my friends, my listeners. That's not what this was at all. No, unfortunately, this was the most sick that I've probably been in years. And I know what you're thinking. What the hell are you talking about? You're sick all the time. And I know. You know, it sucks, man. It sucks that whenever I tell my friends that I'm sick, all of them, without hesitation, they all have the same reply. They all have the same response. Again? I feel like you're always sick. Oh, you feel like it? You feel like I'm always sick? Shut the fuck up. You know who feels like they're always sick? Me, you stupid son of a bitch. The one actually feeling things. Like I said it in the motherfucking beginning of the episode by accident. I'm feeling things, man. And I'm feeling sick. Even right now, I'm still sick. But, dude, last week, don't worry, I'll get into it. I'll get into all of it. But, man, it was bad, dude. It was last year around this time, pretty much the same exact time of the year too. Let's just break down my week, and to do that, we have to go back just a little bit further to last year. See, last year, end of November, beginning of December, I got sick, and yeah, I can pretty much say that about any point in any time of any year in the past couple of years, because I don't know what the fuck is up with me this past year and a half, maybe 2 years. I am the sickest person in my group of friends, bar none. Like whoever's in second place, I've lapped you up like I'm Usain Bolt running against a bunch of second graders. It's a joke. I smile as I pass by everybody on this racetrack of fucking unhealthiness, man. That's me. That's what I get the gold medal in. That's what I excel in life. My superpower, fucking low immune system. I'm the perfect candidate for AIDS because there's no immune system here to fail in the first place. AIDS, bring it on. Already there. I should watch Philadelphia just to prepare myself a little bit more. I'm already there. What immune system? I got no immune system. Last November, early December, it was in December. I remember getting so sick. I remember I was training this new guy back when I was still at the Diddy. I was at the Diddy at this point in my life. And I remember training him, and I was like wrapped up in a hoodie and just leaking gallons of mucus through my nose and coughing like a motherfucker. And I was so fucked up that I trained him for like an hour, and then I went to the back of the Diddy and I fucking went to sleep for the entire shift. I literally could not stay awake, stand on my feet, nothing. At one point, the guy I was training woke me up because he needed help with something, and I came out, and a bunch of the regulars saw me, and they were like, holy shit, are you okay? And I was like, no, absolutely not. Not at all. I remember I went to the clinic I think the next day, and I was prescribed a bunch of asthma medicine. I was prescribed some antibiotics, and was told that it looks like I had bronchitis. And I remember I had a fever, and I was pretty fucked up last year. And I remember that I went the week that I was on antibiotics, I didn't touch a single drink, which while working at the Diddy was very hard. But I wasn't at work that whole week, so it was a little bit easier. I'm drinking water. You heard that right. Drinking water right now. So I went a week without drinking, and then I remember going back to work, and I still continued to not drink for at least another week, but I'm pretty sure I made it maybe 3 weeks with no alcohol last December. And I remember I was working a Saturday night shift, and I took like 2 shots throughout the night, which that was my first foray back into drinking. And it was like a 9-hour shift or something like that. And I took 10. I took 2 shots, and not even like back to back, like one, maybe a couple hours in, and then one like at the very end of the night. And I was not even close to drunk. It was really just a dipping my toe in the water kind of scenario there. Then I remember I had to work a couple of more days the next week, and I went back to not drinking. And I remember I remember some of this clearly. It was my last shift ever at the Diddy was a Thursday night. And Thursday nights at the Diddy, I mean, working at the Diddy was always a lot of fun. Thursday nights lent itself to be some of my more enjoyable nights for a couple of reasons. One, you don't get the crazies that come out on Fridays and Saturday nights. The Diddy was a type of place where a lot of my more loved chill regulars kind of avoided us on Friday nights and Saturday nights because that's when all the motherfucking people came out to turn up. And if anyone ever visited me while working at the Diddy, they know that turn up indeed took place. Thursday nights was it was like a nice mix of we got pretty rowdy, but it was a room full of regulars where everyone knew each other, and it wasn't too packed. It wasn't this standing room only where people are shoulder to shoulder type of scenario. There was no DJ, I would just play whatever. It was kind of an industry night a little bit, and there was a lot of people there that I ended up taking shots with, and I told myself this will be my night back to enjoy a little drinky winky. And I was taking shots with a bunch of people that night. And something happened because those 3 weeks that I went without drinking, that was the longest I had gotten without drinking in a long time. And my tolerance had just absolutely plummeted. And I didn't realize that, unfortunately. I was a little ignorant to the fact that those 3 weeks had done so much in altering my ability to drink, my tolerance level for the amount of alcohol that I was used to drinking. And I didn't really, I told you I did the 2 shots the Saturday prior. I don't know. I really should have approached that Thursday night with a lot more, I don't know. I shouldn't have jumped right into the deep end is basically what I'm trying to say. But I did. And that night was easily the most blacked out drunk that I've ever been in my entire life. And it cost me my job. I was called in by my a manager the next day and shown security footage of myself doing things that I don't remember doing. I remember at one point there's a way to turn off some of our lights, but you have to open up a kitchen door to do it. Instead of opening the door like with my hand like a human being, I kicked the door open like I was John Wick avenging my dog, and the door came off the hinges. I kicked the kitchen door off the hinges like an idiot. John Wick, more like John Dick, kicked it off the hinges. I then drunkenly pick up the door, put it back on the hinges, fucking haphazardly. At one point, I'm behind the bar and I don't know. I took this this glass bowl of cinnamon sticks for our hot toddies. And in my drunken state of mind, I thought that the best thing to do with that glass bowl of garnishes of cinnamon sticks was to promptly smash it on the floor. Oh, and by the way, and leave it there. Broken glass and cinnamon sticks on the floor for no reason. I threw a bar stool. And by the way, here's the thing. The bar was completely empty at this point. I was able to hold it together for while the bar was open. Not a single patron knew that I was like blacked out. I was fine until everyone left. And then I don't remember really going downstairs to do the nightly paperwork. And then once I came up, It was blackout will, and I'm telling you, I've never blacked out like that. I've had moments where I wake up the next day and I don't really remember what happened. I guess the closest that to this day, to this blacked out I was when I hung out with Sam and don't remember fucking the rest of the night, and that's why she quit drinking. Guess I should have quit drinking that day too. Did not. The whole reason I bring that up is because that came right after this intense fucking battle that I had with bronchitis and battling fevers and whatnot. I went from being the most sick I ever was to working, and then the first time I drank, that was the most blacked out I ever was. I had kind of forgotten that I was that sick until this past week, because I felt sick, and we realized that I still had a refill on a prescription of antibiotics from last year that was prescribed at basically the same fucking time just 1 year ago. So I was afflicted with pretty much the same thing 2 years in a row, back to back, and thankfully still had one prescription left for the antibiotics. So I actually didn't even have to go to the clinic to get another prescription, and thankfully so, because this year it felt way worse than anything I experienced last year. And last year I remember that being the most sick I had been in a long, long time. So if this year I got fucked up even worse than last year, then I truly don't remember the last time I was that sick. It might be over a decade. It might be over a decade at this point. That's that I haven't been that sick. Now, on the surface, that sounds like me recounting that story of last year. That sounds like it is a bad story, and it sounds like perhaps a sad story because it cost me my job. But you know, who knows? Maybe there's how I used to hate people that say that they live their life with no regrets, and instead of hating those types of people, I started envying those types of people. Because in my opinion, people that say that they live their life with no regrets are just simply speaking a little hyperbolic, because they're in a situation in their current life that they're genuinely happy and content with. So I don't know how to say. I don't want to say that I don't regret that. I always regret anything negative that I've done or said or been responsible for. I don't know if I'll ever get to the point in my life where I say that I have no regrets. And that's not to say that I don't believe that I'll ever get to a point in my life where I'll be genuinely happy or content or proud of something that I've done or of myself. That's not what I mean. I just think it's very hard for me to ever say that I don't regret something. Hell, I regret that I ate too much this morning because I feel a little bloated right now. I regret everything, dude. But I don't mean that as in I wish I changed all my choices. I definitely regret getting fired from the Diddy and acting like an idiot that night. But there's a very good chance that if that did not happen last December, that I would not be currently employed as a bartender at the Comedy Cellar. And it's very easy for me to say that this job that I have at the Cellar is the most fulfilled I've ever felt at a place of employment. So, some dumb shit that I did on last year at this time led to some awesome shit, some great shit. It set me on a path to do better things, to be surrounded by people that motivate me to do more on almost on a daily basis. Do things like what? Well, like I said, back in May, I told you guys out there in podcast world that I was going to set a goal for myself to get on stage and do 5 minutes of comedy before the year is done. And a month after that, I got hired at one of the most famous comedy clubs in the entire world. That wouldn't happen if I didn't act like a goddamn idiot just 6 months prior. I was probably going to be too comfortable because I was working somewhere that I had great coworkers. I had cool bosses. It was in a great area. I loved my regulars. I was making good money. It was very easy to feel comfortable. And I did, and I was feeling quite comfortable with the money, with my surroundings. But I got pushed out of that comfort zone. And yeah, there was those dark 3 months that I spent at the Horny Ram in Midtown. But hey, without that, I wouldn't have been searching Craigslist and Indeed and culinary agents and Facebook groups, and I wouldn't have been on the prowl for other opportunities, and I would have never seen that the Comedy Cellar was randomly hiring back in late May, early June. I don't know if I believe that everything happens for a reason. And I don't know if I also believe that everything is truly random. Honestly, I don't think I have enough conviction in anything I believe in to think that it's all one way or another. It's probably a mix of everything, man. And ending up at the Cellar felt like I definitely have to now pursue that goal that I set out, or that I gave myself for the end of the year to get on stage. And if you guys all remember, I started taking these classes and I was set up for success, man. Because it was scheduled, it was ready to go. December 10th, 3:30 p.m. I was set to debut at the Comedy Cellar for my first 5 minutes of comedy ever. But something happened. I know that there's some of you out there that already know. There's some of you out there that have no idea. Like, what happened, Will? How'd it go? This was supposed to be the big episode where I talked to you guys out there about how my debut went. Instead, I'm here talking about me being sick and getting fired from my last job for like 20, 25 minutes now. Why? Why am I not talking about my comedy, my debut in comedy? Why am I not mentioning it? You want to know why? You want to know why I haven't mentioned anything about my debut? You want to know why I haven't mentioned anything about those 5 minutes that I was supposed to do on stage? I'll tell you why. Because it didn't happen. I couldn't do it. I was so goddamn sick that I couldn't get out of bed or off of the couch. I couldn't stand on my feet long enough for a week at home, much less on the Comedy Cellar stage. I was so nauseous. I was coughing up a lung. I was experiencing vertigo. My body temperature would fluctuate from low 97 to high 101, 102 multiple times throughout the day. In 7 days, I have thrown up and taken more shits than I probably ever have in my entire life. And that's a lot saying for me, the man with the worst gag reflex in the entire universe. I got the worst sickness that I've had in over a decade, and the timing of it could not have been worse. It was easily the most unlucky timing for me to get sick that I could have ever chosen. Honestly, I'm trying to think. I think I would rather this hit me and put me out of commission for my own birthday, which is coming up in just, I think actually, is today the 15th? I think today's the 15th. Yeah. My birthday's in 10 days. Christmas Day. No, not Christmas Eve. No, not the 26th. Because for some reason, every time I tell someone my birthday's on Christmas, this is exactly what they say next. I don't know why. I have no idea why. But this is always what happens. When I tell someone, hey, my birthday's on Christmas, without failure, the very fucking first thing out of the person's mouth that hears that is, oh, Christmas Day? What did I just say? If my birthday was Christmas Eve, you know what I would have fucking said? That my birthday's on Christmas Eve. If my birthday was December 26th, you know what I would tell you? That my birthday's on the 26th of December. You know what I wouldn't say? That it's on Christmas. Yo, imagine your birthday's November 2nd and you go around saying, oh, my birthday's Halloween. Oh, Halloween Day? No, actually November 2nd. Oh, okay, that's cool. No, that's a lie. If your birthday's on Valentine's Day and I were to tell you, hey, my birthday's Valentine's Day. Oh, the day of? What did I just say? Why would I use Valentine's Day to describe my birthday if it's actually the 16th? You stupid person, you. Stop asking me that, world. I'm telling you my birthday's on Christmas. Fucking listen and take it. The second response that I always get pisses me off a lot less. Because undoubtedly everybody always wants to know the same thing. Do you get double the gifts? That's at least not that asinine of a question. That one I understand. And to answer that, when I was younger, yes. Now, no one gives a fuck about me now. 2 gifts. When I was younger, yeah. I was the only baby in the family for a while. So I was a little spoiled. Now, all my cousins have kids, and some of my cousins that had kids already have kids of their own. So they don't give a fuck about me. And that's fine. That's cool. I'm not bitter. I'm more bitter about people that don't understand what I mean when I tell them that my birthday's on Christmas Day. Christmas Day. I think I would have rather this sickness take me out of commission for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, fuck it. You could keep me out of commission till New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I think it would have broken my heart less to be sick for my own birthday than to miss what I had to miss. Because I did not debut. I did not get to do my 5 minutes on a Comedy Cellar stage. All my classmates that I took that comedy workshop with, the show went on. They went on. They got on stage. They did their 5 minutes. A lot of them were kind enough to send me the video footage of them doing their 5 minutes so that I could see them perform, so I could see them do what I watched them work on for 5-6 weeks in a row. And I was very happy to see it, very proud of them to see it. And it was bittersweet because I also felt very jealous. I felt envy. This past week where I wasn't able to record this podcast for you guys, I don't really remember the last time that I ran through the gauntlet of emotions. I don't remember the last time I felt that angry, that sad, that heartbroken, that a lot of self-pity. It was I was very emotionally fragile. So let's get into it. My week in review. This week in review was supposed to be all about what led up to what probably would have been one of my proudest. You know, it's weird. The other day, I'm not sure what brought it up. It was probably something we were watching on TV. And Val asked me, like, what I was most proud of. Like, what about you? I honestly think it was some dumb movie we were watching that where there came a moment about someone talking about their proudest moment, and Val asked me, what would I say was my proudest moment? And I gave some dumb kind of joke answer where I was 100% just deflecting the question. And I remember she got like a little annoyed, like, oh, I forgot you can't have real conversations. And it wasn't that I didn't want to have a real conversation. The truth is, I don't know. I don't have a moment in my life that comes to mind. I don't have a moment in my life that feels obvious, an answer that feels obvious when I'm asked about the most proud moment. Nothing jumps out. And it's just me being honest, you know, like I don't feel like I have a moment in my life that I can say that right there, that's the greatest thing I've ever done. That moment is my greatest achievement. That day is when I felt the most accomplished. I don't know. I don't have that. I truly don't feel that. And part of me, that makes me sad on some level, but fuck, everything makes me sad. I feel like had I not gotten sick last week, I felt like Sunday, December 10th was going to be the moment I could finally answer that question easily. I was finally going to have an easy answer if anybody else ever decided to ask me, what's your proudest moment? But instead, I'm here recording an episode about another failure, another setback, another thing that went wrong in my life. Because, hey, if you want to ask me what's my biggest failure, what's my biggest fuck up, that, I can't just record one episode about that. That would be an entire series of episodes for you. That I could talk about till the sun comes up, until it sets again, until I could do that all year all year round. See, I remember one time I was watching this episode. I've seen every single episode of House. That Fox medical procedural with Hugh Laurie. And there's this one episode where he says something that kind of always stuck with me. And he says something along the lines of how success tends to be temporary. And that success only lives as long. Success only lasts until your next failure. But failures tend to live forever. And if that's the case, then I will live 15 lifetimes with all the failures that I've had. I wanted to be proud of something. I thought I almost had it there. Thought I almost had it, you know? So this week in review, guys. Last Tuesday, I remember feeling like a little tinge in my throat, a little tickle, if you will. And you know that feeling you get when you can feel the very beginnings of a cold or a cough or something like that, and you're kind of almost in denial. You're like, no, I am not getting sick. Or you know that dumb thing we all say, I can't get sick. I can't get sick, not right now. Everybody always has some crazy reason, some dumb reason why they can't get sick. No, work is so crazy right now. I just cannot get sick right now. Oh my God, no, I have so much to do. I just cannot get sick. And so often, these reasons that these people give for being completely unable to be sick are just fucking bullshit. Oh my God, no, I cannot get sick right now. I have all these reports to file. Oh no, I can't get sick right now. I have to cook dinner. Like, fuck you. Grubhub exists. And probably no one gives a goddamn shit about that HR file that needs to be processed or whatever the hell your amazing job is all about. This was a little bit different. This wasn't just, no, I can't get sick. I have to do some Christmas shopping. No, that's not what this was. This was, am I about to get sick? And have it cost me my, a dream, a goal, my pride. So Tuesday I was feeling that. And I wake up Wednesday for work. I had to open the Olive Tree Cafe. And I felt even more sick, and I had a full-blown cough. And I was like, "Oh, fuck, I cannot believe I'm going to catch a cold this week." I wish it was just a cold. I thought it was just going to be really annoying that for my first time ever on stage, I'd have the fucking sniffles and a cough. That's what I was thinking Wednesday. And as I opened, an opening shift is usually from like 11 to like 5:30. And somewhere around like 2 o'clock, I was like hitting a wall. I was coughing so much, which is never a good look for a bartender that has to work in front of people. My nose is running. I was feeling congested, had a headache. And I was taking medicine. I took some Dayquil, took some cough medicine. And it just wasn't really doing shit. And I got home Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, early evening. I just took my clothes off and I went right into bed and pretty much couldn't get out of that bed for the next 7 days. Because when I woke up on Thursday, I had the day off on Thursday. And when I woke up on Thursday, I was woken up from my pathetic slumber by coughing. I coughed so much that it made me vomit. I ran to the bathroom and threw up because I was coughing so much. I was really bummed out because I was chosen to work that Friday night, the next day. And here's the thing. Friday night, Netflix bought out the Comedy Cellar to throw a premiere party for Chris Rock and Kevin Hart's new documentary that was debuting later that week. Or technically earlier the next week. The documentary is called Headliners Only. It's available now on Netflix. I watched it the day it dropped. I highly recommend it to anybody that out there that's a fan of comedy. For someone like me that works at the Comedy Cellar, it felt like half of the documentary was a documentary about the cellar. It was really cool to see the place that I'm so familiar with, that I clock into work every day, represented in this documentary. I was supposed to work that event. I had to call out of a Chris Rock and Kevin Hart premiere party. Do you think I wanted to do that? No. It sounded like an awesome day, like an awesome opportunity. It sounded like one of the coolest things I was going to do all year. Hell, maybe all in my entire life. Couldn't do it. The next night, I was supposed to work Saturday night at the Comedy Cellar. That's a big money night. Had to call out. Again. Those two shifts right there probably cost me about $600, $700. You know what that is in December? That's half the rent, or that's the ability to buy amazing gifts for my girl, for my parents, for my friends, whatever. I thought last year I got fired right before Christmas. The year before that, I had no job because of the pandemic. This was finally supposed to be the Christmas where I was all right with money and could maybe do things for people that I want to do. And then I lose out on $700. Now I'm just counting dollars and cents from here to the end of the month, seeing how much I might have left after rent to hopefully buy something for at least my girl and my parents. And I hit up Rick Chrome, my mentor, my teacher, and I told him I don't see myself making some miraculous recovery in 24 hours to do this show. And even if by some grace of God I'm healthy enough to even get on stage Sunday night or Sunday afternoon, can you imagine if my boss was walking around and knew that I had just called out Friday night for a Netflix premiere event, just called out Saturday night for the busiest night of the week, and then I show up Sunday to be like, so what's the deal with blah, blah, blah. That's the worst. That would not be a good look at all. So I told Rick, I was like, I can't believe I have to do this, but I can't make it Sunday. I have to miss something that I don't know what's the last thing I ever did that I looked forward to this much. And I couldn't do it. I wanted to cry. I almost did. I cried. I did cry this past week, randomly, but thankfully, you know, I told I sent this long heartfelt text to my friends that were supposed to come, explaining what happened, and almost all of them replied. And yeah, that's weird that I have to say that, right? Almost all of them replied. I don't know if maybe my texts aren't going through to one of my friends, but I find it very weird that one of my buddies did not reply and offer me words of encouragement. I'm going to try to not be salty about that. If you're listening to, I'm not going to even fucking drop a name, but if you're listening to this, you know who you are. It'd be nice to hear from you. To everyone else that did reach out and kind of picked me up there, I thank you and I love you guys for that. To my stepbrother, who I reached out to separately, same thing. Nothing but words of encouragement. And a big thank you to my mentor, Rick Chrome, for giving me this opportunity here, and this is what I will tell you guys now. I was not able to perform on December 10th. But he did give me this, a silver lining in a cloudy week. He was bummed out about it. He was sad about it, but he did offer me the opportunity to make it up. His next class is right in the beginning of the year. It's going to be another 5-6 week course. And then his students will then have their showcase in early February, where they will go up on stage at the Comedy Cellar and do 5 minutes. And Rick was kind enough to offer me a spot in that February showcase. And I jumped on it. So I promise you, I will get on that fucking stage. I will be at the Comedy Cellar. And I will perform. Just won't be this year. It's going to have to wait at least another about 2 months. It's not the perfect scenario that I thought was building up for me, but it's something. And I'm grateful. And that leaves one thing. That goal that I set for myself. that goal of getting on stage before the year's done. And I remember I told you guys that the egotistical part of me thought it was fucking really cool that I was going to be able to set that goal, and that the first time I'd ever get on stage was going to be a Comedy Cellar stage. So now one of two things have to happen. Either the first time I get on stage can remain at the Comedy Cellar, but I fail at my goal that I set for myself. And you know, it's my goal. It's no one else's goal that they put for me. So if I don't get on stage by the end of this year, what's the big deal, right? But I ain't going out like that. A lot of this sadness, this anger, this heartbreak is an onus that I put on myself. A pressure that I put on myself. And I can easily just say, well, fuck it, Will. So push it back 2 months, same thing. But I refuse. I will get on stage before the year is done. It won't be some grand fucking showcase. It won't be at the most famous comedy venue in the world. It won't be in front of 70, 80, 90 people. It won't be in front of my friends and family, no. I will get on stage and it's going to be at some fucking dive bar or on a fucking random day at some comedy club that is nowhere near as famous. It's going to be in front of people that don't give a fuck about who I am or what I have to say. But I have to do this for me. I cannot fail at this goal. I said I was going to go on stage before the year's done, and I'm going to do it. I've got 15 days left to make this happen. The good thing is I have my 5 minutes. I have my material. I have my jokes. I'm ready. I can do it. It's not what I wanted, but maybe it's what I need. I've got to give myself something to be proud of, even if it's something small. And I can't just let that goal fall by the wayside because I'm feeling sorry for myself. Because here's what I started doing this past week is it's kind of what I tend to do when I get in situations like these, where when I was in my 20s, I would take so much time just feeling shitty and feeling sorry for myself and just not taking this, I don't know, I wouldn't take this step back to see a bigger picture. And what's the bigger picture? What I'm trying to say is, I do believe that I've had the type of life where a lot of shit goes wrong for me. Like I don't think I'm like the luckiest guy in the world. I'm not a very lucky person. Whenever I tell my friends about some situation in my life where something went wrong, there's always this kind of familiar chuckle or smirk or just some type of familiar reaction from them where they're not surprised that shit went wrong for me, because that's what happens with me. Shit goes wrong. I haven't really, I wouldn't use luck to describe my life. And in my 20s, I would harp on them. Why me? Why me? Blah, 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 blah. But now in my 30s, especially now, I try to, you know what I was doing this past week? I was just thinking about just how many other people around the entire world are going through such terrible times right now, such ridiculous hardships, and I mean real hardships. I got sick. I'm getting healthy now. Big whoop. There are people out there that just got diagnosed with something that they'll never be able to recover from. There are people out there that instead of doing Christmas shopping are planning funeral arrangements for people that they love. There are people out there that lost their houses, that are losing their livelihoods. What did I lose? 5 minutes at the Comedy Cellar. And I only lost it for 2 months. That ain't that bad, man. My life ain't that bad. So it's like I told my friends. I went through a lot of emotions this past week. Anger, sadness, despair, heartbreak. But I ended that long text by saying something very simple. I'm down, but not out. As the great Stone Cold Steve Austin would say, I ain't done with you yet. No, I ain't done by a long shot. And as the Rolling Stones would say in one of my favorite songs of all time, something I tell myself often in moments like these, you don't always get what you want. But you might find sometimes you get what you need. Maybe I needed this. I'm down, guys, but not out. I will get on stage before the year's done. I will see my friends on my birthday. I will smile. I will laugh. And I'll be all right. Shit happens, man. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Thank you to my friends that had my back. I got a lot of positive words this past week. Thank you to Rick for giving me the opportunity yet again to finally do something I'm proud of. It'll come in February, better late than never. Thank you to my girl Val, who fucking dragged me through that week. Without her, I'd probably still be sick. She really saved my ass this past week. And how did I repay her? She's sick now. Whoops. If I didn't have to go to work right now, I could probably talk for another half hour about more shit. But unfortunately, I've got to start heading out. I just really... Thankfully, I'm working this entire week. I'm in the cellar. I'm in the cafe tonight. I'm in the cellar tomorrow. I'm in the cafe again Sunday. This felt like the best opportunity to sit down and talk to you guys and just give you guys a little heads up as to what happened, why no one heard, why you're not hearing about how my debut went. It's because it didn't happen. It will, though. It will. Down but not out. And that's all I got for you guys this week. Do me a favor. Follow me on all platforms. You can follow me on Instagram, on X, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Spotify, on Threads. Follow me on all those platforms at I'm Will Bryant. That's 3 words. I'm Will Bryant. BRYANT. A-N-T, like Kobe. Till next time, guys. Peace.